Alright, I've had a couple different people want me to do some how-tos, and I'm really not in the mood of doing how-tos on chainsaws because that's kind of a touchy area. But I will tell this. This is Big Mac, and everybody wants to know how I keep my saws. This is straight out of the service truck. I mean, it's got its grit and grime on it. That's actually not been touched. I didn't wipe any of that out. You wanted to see some port work. Here is some port work. That's about the in-depth that I'm going to give anybody on anything. That's the exhaust. I'm not going to say anything about the intake. I did not build this saw. And I'm not even going to get into this because I've been accused of stealing everybody else's work in the past. That is as far as I've been on this saw. Swear to God. Now, I will say that this is my exhaust. The guy that built Big Mac was going to put, and I don't remember the size of the pipe, so I don't want to get technical on it, but he was going to put a pipe on this side with a kick out on it. And some guys like that, but I don't. I want to run screens in it. That deflector there actually blew out. I had a tree spur grab a hold of it, and I didn't realize it when I was on the stump. Broke the darn deflector out of it, and then the screen blew out of it. That deflector there, you can see it's been getting a beating, so I did some more welding on it. This one here, I actually don't have a screen in it yet, but all I gotta do is put the screen in, put the screw in right there where my finger's at. And I've got the screen at the house. Haven't done an RPM check on Big Mac yet to see exactly what it's running, but that's coming also. So, this is kind of a follow-up, I guess you would say, on Big Mac. And I'll get a video of it here running once I get all this said and done, but it's going to sound like crap here in the shop. I'm waiting on the guys to get done over there so I can do a bunch of welding over on the debarker. And I'm trying to kill some time by putting this back together because I don't want a bunch of sawdust getting up in my motor and tearing it up. So I'll be back here in a minute with a run test. So here he is, all said and done. And for anybody that's curious, you gotta grind part of your weld back out when you weld the bottom. Of course, I always weld mine in. You got to weld the bottom of that in on that deflector, and then you got to grind part of that back out because look how tight that clearance is in there. I mean, it is snug. But then a lot of people's worried about burning this plastic. The only reason why I burnt my plastic is because I was going to try to use a screw up here on the top. They got screw holes in them, and I didn't fill that screw hole back in with weld. I forgot about it, and that's where that little hole there come from. But other than that, that thing really don't put out much heat right here. As far as melting plastic, you'll melt just as much plastic up here along the top with your exhaust actually putting heat rising up in that hood than you will by putting a deflector in. Got 3 ports in it, and they're all full cuts. I mean, that's the port is the size of them windows, and then this port over here, that's what the guy that built Big Mac done. He was wanting to put that pipe out, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to do my exhaust on my own. That way I can kind of change my exhaust tone up instead of having it all come out here. I mean, you got 3 different options for your exhaust sound, and it's going to give it a different tone, in my opinion, with having that pipe coming out or your 2 deflectors. But we'll see what she sounds like. Hopefully it's still got gas in it. Hopefully the dang thing starts. It ain't been started in pretty good. Well, I think Tater was the last one using it. He was what's it at? There we are. Tater was the last one used it. I think he was cutting firewood with it. He was crying about my dogs not working. And I did a little bit of work for them, messed around with the screen. Big Mac's ready to eat some wood. Too bad it's wetter than hell outside. I mean, he ain't gonna be logging anytime soon to let him eat on any kind of wood. But now I gotta go over there and weld some new key stock on the bull rollers on the debarker. It's what grabs a hold of the logs and helps the logs spin so the debarker can debark them. I got to weld new keys on them. And I was buying some time by working on Big Mac. It needed to be done. But I was buying some time with him to let them guys over get me set up and get me ready to take off welding. But I'll see if I can't get an RPM check on that. I'll do a live feed with it so nobody can call my bluff on it. And I'll get Tater's opinion on it too. Because he's been playing with Big Mac a little bit, and he's actually getting curious now that he knows what Big Mac's all about. Now he's broke in, a little fine tuning done on him.